On screen right now is the line to vote at the University of Pennsylvania at 7 a.m. right when the polls opened. You can see a bunch of young students going out to vote, mobilizing, a lot probably for the first time, and this is democracy in action. 12 hours before this, Donald Trump called Nancy Pelosi the B word on stage, and Kamala Harris delivered her final remarks along with Oprah Winfrey. I want to break a lot of this down because today's the day. It is election day. First of all, please make sure you go vote. Do not get complacent. Donald Trump could easily sweep if you don't vote. If you don't vote, you are part of the problem. I know many of you already have, but please go vote today. Now that that was said, just look at this. Look at this line going all the way out the door. A bunch of young people, I'm sure some of them are voting for Trump just statistically, but in Pennsylvania, the swing state, many of these young people will be voting for Kamala Harris. Here is Oprah Winfrey explaining what is at stake and why these young people are voting.
If we don't show up tomorrow, it is entirely possible that we will not have the opportunity to ever cast a ballot again. And let me be very clear. If you do not make sure that the people in your life can get to the polls, that is a mistake. Deciding not to decide, that is most definitely a vote to let other people control your future. Now, we all know what we're voting against. So I want to end by reminding you about a few things that we're voting for. We are voting to defend and protect the Constitution of the United States. We are voting for values. We are voting for values and integrity. We are voting for the right to choose what happens to our own bodies.
Damn, Oprah could be a politician. I guess she's been on TV for years, but that was a powerful, powerful speech right there. And the thing is, I want to show you this other video. Same university, University of Pennsylvania, lines open. This is the same line as it continues. But the thing is, both of my parents voted this morning. I flipped a friend voting from Trump to Kamala. Well, I didn't flip him. I guess his algorithm flipped him. If you have people in your life, use a little bit of social pressure to try to get them out today. Don't be an asshole, but just be like, hey, everybody's going to vote. Don't you want to be a part of history? Don't you want to be voting with everybody and vote in the first black woman president? You can use a little bit of that social pressure and say, why would you want to be on the losing side of history? It's so easy. It's so quick. And yeah, my friend who was undecided, who only watches UFC, turned out. My dad, it was a struggle because he is Muslim. He's always talking about Palestine. He's very disillusioned with the administration. He says, wow, I don't like their foreign policy. It's going to be rough for me. But we pushed him. We said, you care about your wife. You care about your mother. You care about everybody around you, all the women in your life. You got to go vote. And it wasn't a struggle. This morning, he got out of bed. He voted with my mom. Both of my parents went and voted. It's just nice to see everybody mobilizing as democracy is in action to the fullest extent. I'm going to play some clips of Donald Trump melting down in 1 second, but I can't stand his voice today. So first, I want to play some clips of VP Harris. I want to heavily cushion this video with clips of pro-democracy candidates.
So Allentown, this is it. Just one more day. One more day. One more day left in one of the most consequential elections of our lifetime, and momentum is on our side. Momentum is on our side. Can you feel it? We have momentum, right?
That's an understatement.
Because our campaign has tapped into the ambitions and the aspirations and the dreams of the American people. We are optimistic and excited about what we will do together. And we here know it is time for a new generation of leadership in America.
A new generation of leadership. And that means people like Kamala Harris, the people she'll place around her, a cabinet with people like Pete Buttigieg, young, upcoming politicians, and hopefully what we've built can be a part of that. I'm a 22-year-old who hopes to someday be ingrained with American politics, have some sort of voice on the national scale, and you guys have helped me build that. You guys have helped me get here to this point. So I think that when she says it's time for a new generation, we're part of that. We are part of this new generation, or what we've built at least. Now let's go back to the old generation. Donald Trump, in contrast to Kamala Harris and Oprah Winfrey speaking to black women in swing states, Donald Trump attacks a black woman, arguably the most famous and well-liked black woman in the world.
To get stars to come in, and they wouldn't do it, actually. She'd go and get Beyonce. No. Beyonce would come in. Everyone's expecting a couple of songs. And there were no songs. There was no happiness. It's just like, give me my check. I want to get out of here.
Like Melania says all the time, like Melania is constantly doing. So this next clip I'm about to play, I don't know how I can still be shocked by the desperation, but this dude basically calls Nancy Pelosi the B word. He says she's evil, she's sick, she's crazy. But the Democrats need to tone down the rhetoric. This article reads, Trump ends campaign by calling female leader the B word. The former president rounded off his final campaign speech with misogynistic insults. I mean, it's pretty fitting. Donald Trump ended his 2024 campaign rally with a bang early on Tuesday morning in Grand Rapids, Michigan, describing his not-so-subtle feelings about House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Sorry, former House Speaker. Here is Donald Trump in Michigan.
She's a crooked person. She's a bad person. Evil. She's an evil, sick, crazy. Oh, no. It starts with a B, but I won't say it. I want to say it.
Oh my God, look at these absolute... I'm not even going to say what I want to. Look at these people in the background just cheering it. Yeah, call her the B word. Yeah. This is a woman right here. This is a woman in this MAGA cap just clapping on. Look at this. Is that a little girl right next to Trump's arm right there? Just smiling as... Listen to this.
It starts with a B, but I won't say it. I want to say it.
Oh my God, I am sick. I am sick. These are the people poisoning the blood of our country. People like Donald Trump. People like this guy over here smiling and clapping it on. Not the little girl. She doesn't know better. Her parents just brought her there. But damn, this is sick and twisted. Quote, she's a crooked person. She's a bad person. Evil. She's an evil, sick, crazy. And then he mouthed the word bitch, basically, but he didn't say it. Honestly, at this point, I wish you would have just nuked his campaign and said it. Get the women to turn out, but I'm not in the place to say that. Quote, oh no, Trump said, before silently mouthing the word again. It starts with a B, but I won't say it. I want to say it. I want to say it. He then interjected. Absolutely a sick thing to say. Here's Donald Trump saying if you make one slip up, they get angry at you. One slip up, like saying that Nancy Pelosi is the B word, like making fun of Puerto Rico, like stealing classified documents. I mean, I can point out hundreds of slip ups, but we don't have the time.
That's a lot of rallies, and remember, if you make one slip up, and I'm a person, as you probably noticed, I have this beautiful speech. I haven't really even gotten to it yet. One of these moments, I'll start giving you some beautiful things to listen to, and honestly, some terrible things to listen to.
Thank God this stuff is almost over. Thank God. But also, when Donald Trump says that he barely ever slips up at his rallies, thank God this stuff is almost over. But Donald Trump says, out of all these rallies, of course I'm going to slip up once or twice. No. Every single rally, you mix up names, you praise Vladimir Putin while putting down our liberal allies, you talk about the enemy from within. It's not one or two slip-ups, it's a repeated pattern of you being one of the most deranged people I've seen in my life. Now, I want to play one more clip of VP Harris because I'm getting sick of Trump. I'm getting sick of Trump here, but I do have a few more clips of his closing speech to play after this.
We are the promise of America. We are the promise of America. I see its promise in the fathers and the mothers and the grandparents across our nation who work so hard every day for our children's future. I see it in the women who refuse to accept a future without reproductive freedom, and in the men who support them. I see it in people of all ages who have knocked on doors, made calls, sent texts, and who will spend tomorrow driving their fellow Americans to the polls. I see it in Republicans who have never voted for a Democrat before, but who put the Constitution of the United States above party. And I see the promise of America in all the young leaders who are voting for the very first time. Where are you? I know you're here. I know you're here.
I'm young, but I voted last election, so I don't know.
And you who are determined to live free from gun violence, who are determined to tackle the climate crisis, who are ready to shape the world you inherit. To you in particular, I say, I see your power, and I am so proud of you. Can we all applaud our first-time voters?
Shout out to all the first-time voters out there, and the contrast between her speeches and Donald Trump's. Someone said, I just have no idea why this guy is struggling with women voters as he's saying this.
She's a crooked person. She's a bad person. Evil. She's an evil, sick, crazy. Oh, no. It starts with a B, but I won't say it. I want to say it.
I'm going to send these two clips back to back to my friend who just voted, or who swapped from a potential Trump voter to now voting Kamala Harris. I'm going to send this clip of Kamala being hopeful and be like, hey, look at this compared to the way Trump speaks. It's absolutely night and day. Ron Filipkowski points out right here, hate, bile, vitriol, division, vindictiveness, vengeance, that's a lot of V's right there, insanity, instability, incompetence, chaos, drama. That's what he brings, and he cites this clip of Donald Trump right after he said that Nancy Pelosi thing.
It's done in a matter of weeks. When our stupid generals, our terrible generals, the guys up top like Milley, like Kelly, real losers. Kelly was dumb as a rock. I'll never.
Okay, so we learned that Donald Trump thinks his generals are weak and wants them to be more like Hitler's generals. So his response is to call his generals weak even further and say they are dumb as a rock, which you can tell he's mad they weren't loyal to him. He's mad they weren't completely 100% loyal. Doesn't that prove Kelly's point that Donald Trump demands absolute loyalty all of the time, 100% of the time? Either way, it's election day, baby. Go vote. I'll be doing hits all day, so make sure you're subscribed with post notifications on. I'll be doing hit after hit after hit, video after video after video. Then we'll go live. I'll be chatting with you guys. I've spent this entire election with you guys, whether it's that first Trump rally in Iowa at the caucuses, whether it's the DNC, whether it's the assassination attempt or Biden dropping out. We've spent it all together. So let's stick the landing tonight. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.